Hi there and welcome to my individual presentation for the mobile application development assignment. Today I'm going to be showing you the mobile game that we developed for this assignment and showing you how it works and a little bit of gameplay, and then right at the very end some images of how the game looked as we started the project and where it finished. So I hope you enjoy this video and thank you very much. So the first screen we start off with is a login screen. It's fairly simple. It just stores the player's name on the database and assigns all the players' cards with that. The first screen we're going to move into is the deck building screen. Now this was a screen that took quite a lot of designing because I wanted to be able to present all the cards that the player would have available in a very informative manner. So I decided on creating a scroll view and stacking them 2 by 2. That way the more cards you acquired from the store, it wouldn't impact the actual view of the screen. You could just scroll and just keep adding to the bottom. To add a card to your deck, you just simply tap on it and it will move it to the right hand side, and then to remove it again you just tap on the one you just added. And then to view more information on that card, you can use the hold gesture and it will display the information right at the very top of the screen. Again, we felt that was very important to have so the player would know exactly what card they're going to be taking into the game, and then they're not surprised when they find out that they got the wrong card or anything when they're actually playing. So moving to the card screen again, I wanted to kind of present the information in a way that it was easy to understand and wasn't too messy. So I decided on kind of keeping the text with the card image instead of separating it out, so that way you could easily see what cards you were buying and what it did. Again, with its stats, like its health, its attack, its mana. And here I am adding the new cards into my deck so I can take it to the game. I wanted to keep it so that you could navigate between pages, navigate to play a game from any page. So you'll see that from the deck building screen and the shop screen, you can both enter a game from there. So starting off on the game screen, the user experience of this screen was a very important thing to get right, as the player would be spending a lot of time interacting with this screen. So starting off at the top, we have the enemy side of the screen. So this is where the enemy's health, mana, amount of cards and next turn symbol are positioned, and then followed by the name on the right. Then below that we have the 3 slots that hold the enemy's cards, and then following that is the 3 slots that the player will be able to place their own cards in. Then towards the bottom of the screen we have the area where the player's cards will be held in their hand that they can then place onto the board. And then below that we have our local player's health and mana, alongside an end round button which will tell the enemy player that the other player has ended the round. And then to the left hand side of the bottom there is a stone icon which allows the player to concede the match and return to the menu. So talking about positioning, we aimed to try and keep the bulk of the player's interactions below the centre line of the screen. So everything the player is most likely to touch is going to be below the centre point. We did this because we wanted to be able to keep it within range of the player's thumbs, either for the right hand or the left hand. And the same could be said with the cards that the player currently holds on their hand. All of them are positioned perfectly so that your thumb hovers above them and you can easily hold the gesture like so to view the image of the card, or simply tap the card. It will highlight with a red border to signify to you that you've selected that card, and then you can just place it onto the deck like that. So it's a fairly intuitive way that the player interacts with the game. And also we have a white border around the player's side of the board which tells them that it's their turn and that they can do stuff. And we also have pop-ups that pop up to say that it's your turn, or the player has ended their round, or the enemy player has used a spell on one of your cards. So if I have 2 clients currently open, so the other one is running on a browser, so I can demonstrate the game to you. So on the if I just end turn on the one you can see right there, you can see it says a new round has begun, and now it is the enemy player's turn. So I'm just going to position a card on the board, and there you can see I've placed the Boulder Troll as the enemy, and it has been also placed on my local client as the enemy's card. So I've entered the game, This is against a local client that I have running, just so I can show you a bit of gameplay. So I've sped it up so you're not going to be watching it for too long, because it is it's quite drawn out. So you can see that the enemy cards are a kind of mirrored version of the cards that the local players placed. And we did this so that you could tell that they were the same sort of thing, but they were easily identifiable as a enemy card, so that you didn't have to, so that there wasn't any confusion with what cards are yours and what cards are theirs. Again, we changed the colour of the enemy side of the deck to kind of help reinforce that that's their side and the bottom half is yours to interact with. The same can also be said with the enemy's health mana and cards available. We've placed them at the top left of the screen in direct mirror with the local player's health and mana at the bottom of the screen. Whereas previously, them 3 icons at the top for the enemy were on the right, and then with the name on the left. And that was through user experience and user testing that we found out that people didn't tend to like looking from corner to corner to find the stats when you could have just easily looked up and they would be there. We also effectively use pop-ups to present more information to the player when an enemy used a spell or ended their round, or to present to the local player that it's their turn. We also did this with UI, so we have a flashing box around the enemy's 3 slots or their side of the board, just to have another thing that tells the player, hey, this is your go. And it's a subtle little thing that we found that the users testing the game really wanted. Overall, I've really enjoyed working on this project, and it's taught me quite a lot, especially about mobile application development that I never knew before. And I'm relatively new still to JavaScript, React, and especially the way that we managed to utilize a database to create our own matchmaking system for this application. And again, I'm really proud of how we managed to achieve the goal of designing and creating a game that can run on low-end devices without needing a game engine to actually complete our gameplay. So yeah, I can't wait to actually have this on my CV, and me and my other group member have actually planned to complete this game after this assignment and release it on the Android and iOS store. So yeah, again, I'm really glad I got to have this opportunity to take part in this assignment. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.